each conscious breath you take today, you can take it back to a moment in your life that you lost
Mm,
it unconsciously. And this is where the deep healing
mm,
really occurs. It's like a systemic healing. It's such a wholesome, holistic healing. And then we can use the breath also in more specific ways to target certain restrictions that we faced in our
mm,
life or that we face today as a result of the trauma that we experienced. And almost invariably, the people who work with their greatest challenge will then take that work outwards to the world. So I've got one
mm,
dear student who's a dear friend who's a porn addict, and he now works with
mm.
addiction. He actually works now, starting to work with an addiction clinic in Zurich, in Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
Someone who's had food. Well, I think I'm not sure what the right word is for it anymore, but they call it a disorder of some kind or another, I'm sure. But people who've had
Mm,
issues with their diet or with their food invariably seem to go out and help other people who've had the same problem. And
right.
it's so beautiful because it's as if by virtue of doing their own work, they become bearers of resolution for other people from a completely authentic place. There's nothing fabricated. It's not
Mm,
about passing over content and giving people information. It's about being present with someone else's pain and holding a candle in a clearing in the woods for them to come towards. It's like they cut the long grass by virtue of doing their own work, and then it makes it easier for other people to understand, oh, it can happen for me too. It's inspiring for people. And that floats my boat.
So now you are sharing about this process around working with in your teacher training, and it's also actually outlined in your book about writing your biography, and you take people through a process, and you encourage people to do that every 7 years. Write it, and you're saying in 50 words, and then you what happens next when you take them through what comes up, contraction that happens in the body, and then you choose how to work with the breath.
Yeah, then
How
we
do you
choose which challenge they want to work with,
Mm,
and which is what will become exemplary for them, because it's more the practice of learning how to negotiate with our trauma, and to allow trauma to become our teacher rather than our terror.
mhm,
And that's the alchemy, really. And that's also, I mean, I don't want to take too much credit for this because it's the breath. That's the alchemy that does exist in the breath, is that it gives us
mm,
opportunities to create pivotal moments, and things that we might have been hiding from or working on or anywhere in between for years, with even with one breathwork session, can be clarified. It's as if
mm,
we get to see the other side of the coin. And we use body awareness practice that we call alchemy meditation when we breathe. So that means to
mm.
really sort of scan the body like you might in a Vipassana meditation.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm,
but as we practice it together with our students, we actually teach them to um, speak from this deep meditative state. So they learn how to communicate from a deep state of presence. And this then creates an atmosphere, an ambiance as we work together where the focus is so extreme that we can really begin to untie those wet knots of our past that sit in usually in the gut, in the belly. I find most people keep their trauma. Um, and so we get to loosen those and we get to bring breath to them and we bring presence to the parts of ourselves that we perhaps are frightened of looking at or are frightened of allowing to exist.
Hello there, and thank you so much for stopping by this channel. I hope you find this content useful, and if you do, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It will really help me to reach to more people and keep this content going. Here we are journeying together, and let's see where this takes us.